Hey world. Today, today was an interesting day. Today was much better than the last couple days. I got overwhelmed for a few moments. My son had a rough day today. Got a lot of schoolwork done for them so that they don't have anything due left tomorrow. Uh, I do like to work at its own pace because when they're on a roll, I can keep pushing and knock out as much as possible. Uh, Taking on this teacher role is entertaining. Um, Yesterday, I did so many conference calls that like trying to help them teach was just not working. So I've got to budget my time better and dedicate more time to working with them. It's very challenging. It's confusing because they don't teach the way that they used to teach when I went into school, which I guess I'm 41, so it's a whole different world. Uh, the way that they teach math is so backwards that it's crazy, right? Um, a friend of mine told me that they have health concerns. So that kind of like hit me hard this morning. Um, and after that, my son started acting out, and it just all piled up on top of me. And I got extremely, extremely overwhelmed, right? I got very, very crushed for a few moments. Um, I should say a few moments. It was probably a good hour and a half that I was just off, right? Reached out to a couple people, and then I sat with it because I didn't have a choice, right? People are busy. You can't always just turn to people. Um, so I sat with it. And as as tough as it is to sit with certain things, it's also very cathartic and it's very it just it makes sense, right? There is this comfort now that I'm having with sitting with these feelings uh, because it triggers me, right? Because my son went through similar things that I went through, and I feel some guilt, some remorse because I wasn't there, right? I wasn't there to stop it. Um, I'm actually looking forward to doing the court paperwork at this point um, because the more I think about it, I really have nothing to worry about. I know my kids are safe. I know they're going to continue to be safe. I know it's going to get tense. I know it's going to get ugly. Unfortunately, the time window is going to suck. But that's okay, right? Had some steps in business today. Had some steps in business the last couple of days, and that's good. Looking forward to that. Um, it's an interesting world right now. There's so much chaos going on, right? You have the elections, you have the racism, you have the anti-racism, you have protests, you have police getting away with murder, literally. And as a society, we sit back and protesting is our best idea. I mean, with the election coming up, we better vote some of these people out of office, right? And it's not about a party at this point. Now it's about getting rid of the old. Some of the things that have been going on in this country have nothing to do with a political party. They're so much deeper than that. And it's really the groups that pay them, and it's the groups that lobby, and the groups that support them, right? They're funders, um, they're backers. And it really starts local. So everyone who's not educating them on and educating themselves on who they're voting for locally, not only the presidential side has a lot less of an impact than we imagine, right? It's the local vote that makes those differences where we live, where we want to live, where we're going to live, right? The system is so backwards and so upside down that it doesn't even make sense anymore. There's like no logic to it. Um, we're at a point where we really need to make a change. And as a society, as a human race, we need to look at what's going on. And it's not even about one situation, one circumstance, one event, right? It's across the board. Standard human rights have just been disregarded and taken from us. And we've allowed it because we follow whatever direction we want to follow, right? Whatever voice is the loudest, that's the one that we want to hear. Um, I think the education system is a major issue in this country and in the world. Um, we're being trained like sheep and cattle. We still have the same education system that we used during the Industrial Revolution. For anybody who doesn't know, that was the 1800s. Um, it, you know, we were creating factory workers with this, and that's not our society anymore. Where are the innovators? Where are the trailblazers, the changing, the change makers, the ones who are going to put themselves out there to create something different? Where are those people? Where did they go? Um, those are the ones that fail out of school. Those are the ones that get horrible grades in school. Those are the ones that change the world, right? And I look at this because I feel like in some ways I'm one of them, or I will be, or I'm working towards being one of them. And I've always, you know, danced to my own music, beat my drum, whatever it is, right? I've always danced to my own tune, right? I never really fit in anywhere that I was. And I look at the current situation, and we really are sheep. We have become sheep. We just follow whatever. We pick a side and we follow that side blindly. Um, the only thing that I'm going to say, and I don't like either political party, I don't like our political structure anymore. We've gotten so far away from the Constitution, it doesn't even make sense anymore. It used to be an honor to serve in office, now it's a career. Um, what I'm going to say is if you're a hardcore Democrat, try and vote Republican in House or Senate. If you're a hardcore Republican, vote Democrat in House and Senate. There needs to be some type of neutral ground in the middle, right? Anytime a society goes to extremes, it collapses upon itself. And I really believe that something needs to shift. There needs to be a major change. There needs to be a new generation of leaders. There needs to be, the 45-year-olds running for president instead of the 75-year-olds. The world doesn't fit them anymore. The world doesn't fit our leaders. Our leaders don't represent this country or most countries, right? I don't understand why there's not a woman on the ticket. I don't understand why there's not an independent that's coming in and just talking about how everything is so extreme. Why doesn't someone sit in the middle and work on getting stuff done? It's always about hate this, hate that. There's so much hate and there's so much anger that it just feels wrong, right? And it just feels off. I think it's time for us to stand up and say, this is what we want, right? We want change. And it doesn't have to be violence. We can just vote the right people in, or we can vote across the board based on topics, based on, real hardcore topics. And I'll never tell anyone who to vote for because this is a free system, right? Vote for whatever you think. Just understand that the president's not going to make much of a difference who it is because it's all about the House, the Senate. It's all about the local leaders. Um, if anything that's been proven to us over the last 6 months, right, since the George Floyd incident and everything kind of just with COVID and everything else going on, all these things, if what it's really proved to us is our local leadership needs to be stronger. Federal government tries to step in and it doesn't work. Local politics are crumbling. Local systems are crumbling. Our infrastructure as a country is a joke. Um, it's old. It's antiquated. Uh, and there's a reason that large entities, big money, is putting money into other areas of the world now. There's a reason that Africa is finding investors everywhere, right? Because that's the next up and coming with the majority of the youth population. and we're just sitting back as a U.S. citizen. We sit in a bubble. We're the best, we're the strongest, we're this. We're not anymore. We're just not. Um, the opportunity might be here, and it might not be there. But the reality is, we've lost our global appeal. Um, Things are going to take a while to work. Things are going to take a while to be fixed. I'm not sure that this election in the end is going to make a big difference, but I think the next two will. And I think whoever wins is obviously a one-term thing, right? Because if it's Trump, then it's his second term and he's out. And if it's Biden, I don't, he'll be 80 something years old. So I can't imagine him running again, right? If he doesn't have more issues before then. I just, I think rather than picking a party line, we need to sit down and look at core facts. We need to really understand the facts, and that's looking through the smoke and mirrors. That's looking past what the media, one side or the other, wants us to see. Um, when it was riots and all this other stuff going on, I remember specifically sitting there and watching CNN and then Fox News, CNN, Fox News, and looking at both of them at the exact same store, showing rioting, but showing two completely different perspectives. Like, what happened to somebody sitting there with a camera and saying the news? What happened to, this is what's really going on? And I guess that's where social media came in, right? And you started having lives. And when you have the lives, it's hard to say it's not real, right? There's no arguing a live video. Um, but again, it was one perspective, right? Because they weren't showing the police cam video live at these peaceful protests or non-peaceful, while also showing the people in the crowd. I mean, there's got to be a better way for us to educate ourselves on the facts. And I know I'm on a rant. I feel very clear tonight. It was a very long day. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed early tonight. I am literally fried, and I've got a early morning tomorrow. I've got to get the kids out of the house by 8:15. Um, but you know, it's it's an interesting world we live in. There's a lot going on. There's a major global spiritual awakening happening. Like there's major things that are going to shift this whole mindset across the world. And I think it's time to stop ignoring them. I think it's time for, common knowledge to become common knowledge, or anything that there's a stigma attached to become common knowledge. I don't know why we keep allowing stigmas to control us. I don't know why we fall into these categories and we allow us to be suffocated in them. At some point, we need to sit back and look, and we need to say, I don't want to believe what I see. I don't want to believe what I'm being told. I want to see it for myself. And I think we need more people like that. And I think we need, as a human race and society, we need to rise up and say, this is what I want. And I don't think we do that enough. And if we do, we're not communicating it clearly. Um, Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Anyway, today was a good day. I mean, it wasn't, right? It had its moments. Overall, everything got done that needed to get done. I did a ton of laundry today. I did the sheets. I folded 6 loads of laundry. Everybody has clean clothes. Everybody was fed 3 times. Well, not Thomas. He slept late, but everybody ate. Everybody was taken care of. Everybody bathed, and schoolwork was done. I got work calls done. I met new people. It was a great day, right? I went to this group therapy session with Sherry Lewick. It was just awesome and amazing, and really transformed life. It does transform lives. It changes. It's changing my life forever, and the way that I'm looking at things and perceiving things and being aware of things. Tremendous amount of respect there. Um, I think it's time to just wake up. So, world, I'm gonna go to bed. Everybody, I'm telling everybody to wake up so I can go to sleep. I hope everybody has an amazing day. I appreciate you guys greatly, and I'll be back. Bye.